What's going on, YouTube? It's NC, the place to be. Channel Train Mr. Andy. Back to give you guys a Smackdown, Friday Night Smackdown review. The first Smackdown of 2022. And joining me is not Deion Sanders for Prime Time.
What's up? It's me, the PRIME.
He's back, and I'm trying to do it for you guys. I was like, okay, at least let me knock out all the first shows of 2022 out the way. You know, because this was not a good episode of SmackDown, and it also shows you what in desperate need WWE is. They're not going to admit it, and if you're looking for them to admit it, you might as well give it up now because they're not going to do that. But they are in desperate need because this show showed it here. I mean, we had a good segment in the beginning, but other than that, from how they're playing the matches and what's going on, not much. So, of course, we start out with Roman Reigns comes out by himself. No Usos, no Paul Heyman, nothing like that. And, he said the two faces I never want to see again is Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Well, Brock and Paul come out. Brock got his farmer coat on, and he's living a good life. Paul Heyman's about to introduce him, but he takes the mic, and he does it his own intro himself. I was like, yo, I'm feeling this Brock Lesnar. He is happy as shit and don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I love that part of him. And then so Brock basically says, look, I want to do a champion versus champion matchup, and then Reigns just like, this is my show. I call the shots, and then Paul Heyman goes to, I treat you like my tribal chief. How could you do this to me? And then Brock was like, what did you say, Paul? And then he said, well, when you was gone, he's all I had. The tribal chief. He said, shut up, Paul. And everyone was like, don't talk to him that way. I was like, oh, we really doing a love triangle thing right here with Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm. And then as Brock is distracted, Roman sneaks off a Superman punch and then leaves the ring. So, real quick, I know they're going to get everybody talking, but they're not going to do, this is WWE here, they're not going to do a championship unification match.
Why not?
It's not happening.
Why not?
Because Vince loves
I don't think it's going to be a unification match.
They just want to give Roman both championships?
Yeah, like Becky Lynch style.
Oh, so you can do Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah.
I mean, is it possible? Yes, but first of all, I honestly don't think, because once again, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I have no problem admitting I'm wrong, but for some reason, I do not think that Brock Lesnar's beating Bobby cleanly at the Royal Rumble.
Well, they got two scenarios, so.
I mean, like
one they got Brock can win clean, and he can go to fight Roman at Mania, or Brock can lose and enter the Rumble and then win the Rumble. So there's two options they can do.
I'm going with the latter here because I think after that cheap shot that Roman took it off somebody, I think it's a big swerve because Brock is obviously the face now. I think the whole Heyman, Usos, the whole blood, I think is a swerve.
So you think that Roman costs Lashley the title?
No, I think Roman costs
Brock the title.
I think either Roman or the Usos or even Heyman costs Lesnar the title. Because first of all, it ain't like he's going up against Big E. No disrespect to Big E. It ain't like he's going up against Kevin Owens or something like that, who needs and he's going up against fucking Lashley, who's been built like a powerhouse. That he destroyed the whole day one main event in one night. So he's going up, and he never landed an offensive move on Lashley at the Royal Rumble. I mean, at day one. So he's going up against a monster here. So with that being said, I can clearly see him getting distracted, and Bobby applies that hurt lock, which is something even when Bobby wasn't doing too well, they have kept the hurt lock over, almost RKO level. So if he locks that in there, I can see Brock passing out, and I can see or spear,
or Brock can be the first one to get out of it.
That is true. I mean, it could be the first one to get out of it because Brock will be the type of guy to do that. But
especially since he's faced Brock too.
Yes.
He can do it dramatically. He can do it like, oh, I'm about to die. Raise one arm, hold it down, raise the arm again, it falls down. Raise arm again. Oh, he got the power, and then he breaks out of it. I can see that happening.
I get it. It'll make it a moment because nobody's got the hurt lock yet. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's a situation, but I just think like he screws him over. Maybe Biggie hits, not Biggie. Lash hits a spear, but then later on that night, he goes and gets into the Rumble, and whether he either beats down
Johnny Knoxville.
Well, oh god, I wanted to see him just suplex Johnny Knoxville all over the fucking everything. Either he beats down Sami Zayn and get into a spot like Brock Lesnar can get into the Rumble. It doesn't matter. He gonna just take a spot, go in there, win the Rumble, and then have him face Roman. Because right now, if he has the championship for title versus title, obviously he's gonna need an answer. And Roman's like, well, I don't want to see Brock ever again. So he may think if Lashley wins, I'm done with Brock. But it's like, no, Brock comes and wins the Rumble. And then Roman goes up against Brock at Mania for the Universal Championship. And you just give Lashley the Big E. Have Big E win the Elimination Chamber. You know, like actually build him the fuck back up because he needs to be built back up. Have him go up against Lashley and get his title back at Mania and give him the right moment that he needs, opposed to the shitty moment he had on Raw. So, it's different ways you can go about this. Next we have Rick Boogs versus Sami Zayn. I never really seen Rick Boogs wrestle before. This is my first time. And he was impressive. There was a spot that he was trying to do a suplex, and Sami kept kneeing him in the head. He's supposed to drop to one knee and then regain his bearings and pick him back up for a suplex, but he did lose him. But he still tried to maintain it and pick him back up and then gave him a suplex. In the match, though, but Sami Zayn was getting the advantage. Not Nakamura, who looks clearly like 1989 Michael Jackson out there, distracts Sami Zayn, and Rick Boogs gets the roll up. And then after the matchup, Johnny Knoxville comes to the ring because backstage Sami Zayn ran into Knoxville saying that you can't be in the Rumble, you don't qualify for the Rumble, you're not a wrestler, blah 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 blah. And Knoxville says, all I gotta do is throw somebody over the top rope, and that's it. So Knoxville comes out there,
he's not wrong.
I know. Eliminate Sami Zayn, and then they come over the loudspeaker saying, "Hey, Knoxville has qualified." I'm like, well, that's what it takes to qualify. Just takes him over the top rope.
I hate this time of year for commentary though.
Why'd you say that?
Because every match somebody goes on the top rope. If that was the Royal Rumble, he would be eliminated right now.
Exactly.
He goes through the middle rope. Now, if this was the Rumble, he would not be eliminated because he went through the middle and not over the top. Okay. All right, Michael Cole.
I do agree with you on that one. But it was cool hearing the that jackass music. So, Charlotte is out and she's dressing her gear. And look, here's the unfortunate part. Let me tell you how WWE has no women, because Charlotte said she's going to enter herself into the Royal Rumble. And when she wins, she'll pick her opponent for WrestleMania. And then she proceeds to go down the list of the women who are going to be in the Royal Rumble. And I don't have the exact list for you, but she named 19 people. Everybody from Rhea Ripley to Nikki Ash to Summer Rae to Nikki to the Bella Twins to Kelly Kelly to Tamina to Natalya to Naomi. Naomi's supposed to be in it, and
Michelle McCool.
Yeah, Michelle McCool, and they name all these women, but they name the Knockouts champion, women's champion, Mickie James, who Pat McAfee acknowledges on the commentary. And everybody's like, wait a minute. I'm watching it live, and I'm like, did they just say that? Was that an accident? And I text you, and I was like, yo, they just said Mickie James. And at first, you was stunned, like, why would they do that? And
I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what you mean?
See, that would have been. And first of all, two things were going through my head. I was like, one, Mickie James, why the hell is she coming back to WWE after how they treated her last year with the trash bag stuff? And second, what's going through my mind was, if that's really true, and the Impact Women's Champion, hopefully, is going to come to the Royal Rumble, why wouldn't y'all keep that as a surprise? I'm not saying it'll break the internet down, like if the fucking Rock entered the Rumble, but I'm just saying, or if CM Punk came back, I'm talking about, but having a Impact, like a deliberately Impact crossover, because here's the thing, WWE has done subtle Impact crossovers before.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very subtle. But, nobody pays attention to them. I'm talking
about...
I
can only think of two.
Well, which one can you think of?
Christian Cage and Ric Flair.
Yes, I remember. That's what I was thinking of.
And RVD.
RVD is another. There was one. I do remember Kurt Angle saying to Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, if y'all want to quit, y'all can go to TNA. Even though it wasn't called TNA no more, but still, that was another reference. And, yeah, that's what ones I could think of. But, yeah, they had subtle crossovers, but it's like a big crossover. I'm just like, okay. But, people, calm your nerves down. This helps Impact, but this is not going to lead to anything. There's not going to be no crossover. There's not going to be no WWE versus Impact that survives. Because, first of all, if Impact was looked at as a legit competition for WWE, they would not be on this show.
Well, they're not on the show. Just Mickie James is on the show.
You know what I'm talking about.
But I'm saying, look, I'm just saying, all I'm saying is, Impact has one of the greatest women's roster to date. Imagine Jordynne Grace in the Rumble.
All that is great. If they was
I'm saying, I know that's not happening. I'm saying, imagine if they would have got like 3 Impact women. Like, okay, it's just to show off the women's talent and Impact. Say, right, you can watch the knockouts on so and so.
To be completely honest with you, I hope Mickie James is just one out of many names. Like, would I love to see Moose come into the Royal Rumble? Yes. For the men. Would I love to see Jordynne Grace for the Royal Rumble for the women? Yes. I would love to see those some surprises, but I'm like, don't keep something hidden. But the big thing is that they have no women. They don't have enough women to even. Anytime your champion got to be in the Rumble, you don't have enough women.
Oh, Brock was in the Rumble. That year he was.
Say what?
Brock was in the Rumble that year he was champ.
But that was part of a storyline.
So this ain't part of a storyline?
No. Prime, you know what I'm talking about. Come on, that. You won't be difficult. I'm talking about they don't have enough women on their roster.
Yeah. The rest of the roster gonna be like Raquel Gonzalez and like
NXT people.
Maybe Dakota Kai,
Like they don't have enough.
Should I say Kai Dakota?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna change their name. We got Rena G. Who else? Who else is it? Mandy Rose. You got Rosa Amanda.
Rosa Amanda. Look, I'm just saying there's so many things that they can do. I'm saying, but like they had to go to NXT, they had to go to Impact, unfortunately, because Raw and SmackDown they don't have enough women. Mm-hmm. If you name both rosters, because first of all, what I'll give either Bianca, Liv, or Piper Niven is going to be in the Rumble, but they still don't have enough people because people quit. Tony Storm quit, or you have women that got released, half them for no fucking reason, and you have nobody. And this is a problem that she caused. But neither here or there, Naomi comes out. And now she wants a match with Charlotte. And she says, I can do this. And she slaps Charlotte. So they have a match. And it's not a bad match. Naomi's about to win by count out. But then Sonya Deville comes out and says, you know what? It's not going to be a no count out. And, okay, so then she goes for, Charlotte goes for, was it the figure 8, I think it was. And then she gets out of it, but then Sonya Deville says that, Naomi reaches the rope. And Sonya Deville says, you can't win via DQ because Charlotte won't let go. So it's going to be only pinfall submission. So then Charlotte hits the natural selection and gets the 3 count on Naomi. Here's the problem with this. Because me personally, I thought at first this whole Sonya Deville thing was going to lead to Naomi winning the Rumble. But it looks like this rivalry may go on to WrestleMania, where it's Naomi versus Sonya Deville. But here's the problem. Why does Sonya Deville hate Naomi?
Why does this even make sense? It doesn't.
Well, I'm saying it don't make sense because we don't know why she's attacking Naomi. Why does she not like Naomi?
We don't know.
I'm saying that's what we need to know. Happy Corbin is out doing his little talk show shit with Mocap Moss, who acts like he's Drew McIntyre, and says that he can wrestle anytime, but he needs to go home and rest his neck. Whatever the case should be. Viking Raiders come out. It's a tag team match. Viking Raiders against Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. Madcap Moss hits his finishing move, that the punchline he calls it, and they win the match. Nothing much. Adam Pearce is like, yo, Roman, you need to defend your championship at the Royal Rumble. You can pick anybody you want to. Who's it going to be? He says it doesn't matter. He wants to watch his cousins with this matchup. So then we get a street fight. The Usos taking on the New Day again in a street fight for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And I mean, it's okay, but it's one of the weakest Uso and New Day matches. There has been better. There has been steel step spots mostly, and then they had like Knight's armor on where they protected themselves from super kicks stuff and threw at the Usos. They piped in a "We Want Tables" chant if nobody couldn't tell. And they brought out a table, but then Kofi gets 1D through the table. Please don't tell me they try to bring the Dudley Boys back.
Nah, I think they just having a finish. They just using that as a new finisher.
Okay, I'm about to say, because like, why they keep doing the Dudley Boys move, especially through the table, and I'm like, okay, well, are y'all teasing at something? Like, cause the Dudley Boys used to
Devon can't wrestle no more. Like at all.
What happened to him?
He's just old. There's a lot of surgeries. I don't know.
I do know Devon has twin sons.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been going to the Performance Center. They've been working stuff out. And they're like trying to be a tag team. And I was like, I don't know if they can be called up yet, but
I don't. They're not signed.
Say what?
They're not signed.
Oh, they're not signed yet? Oh, okay.
No, they work under Booker T, I think, in Reality of Wrestling.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, hey, that sounds pretty cool.
That wouldn't make sense either, though. Using our dad's move, and then they go on to use their dad's move. But like, I don't know.
I guess Usos win the matchup. After that, we see Roman in the locker room, happy, but then all of a sudden we get a door that knocks, but it's knocking in the form of the Shield theme.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's kind of cool. And then he looks over, and all this is Seth Rollins laughing. But do we see a problem here? Yes, Seth Rollins is a Raw superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have
no explanation.
No, at all. They have Seth Rollins coming over to take on Roman Reigns. You know why? It's no explanation, everybody. You know why Seth Rollins is coming over? Because he's a Raw superstar? It's because they don't have nobody to take on Roman Reigns.
What brand split?
Exactly. Oh, Survivor Series, the one time a year you get to see Raw SmackDown.
They could have built somebody up in that time, but they did.
But here's the thing, they could have built somebody up, but they fired everybody also. You fired 80 people. And it ain't like y'all fired.
It's still somebody they could have built up, even after firing all those people.
Bruh, there's a lot of people they could have. But, I mean, right now, even at the time that they was firing people and trying to build stuff up, that wasn't their priority. And unfortunately, they wasted their time. When you got rid of a roster of 80 fucking people, and I'm talking about 80% of them, actually, I'll go even higher. 90% of them was active people, such as Samoa Joe, such as Braun Strowman, such as Karrion Kross, such as Keith Lee. Like, all these people that I just named, and there's more, could have easily been on Raw or SmackDown. You could easily brought LA Knight. You could have easily built somebody up to take on Roman Reigns for the Rumble. You mean to tell me a Keith Lee versus Roman Reigns match wouldn't have been dope?
We all know it would have, but
is it or even a Karrion Kross without the stupid gimmick. Like, I'm talking about, he had the fall and pray gimmick with Scarlett. Going up against Roman Reigns wouldn't have been a dope match. Sure, you're telling. I mean, they already did Strowman versus Roman already, so we ain't gotta do that no more. But
I'm just talking about even when people on the roster, they could have still, like, I don't know, Shinsuke or like
Shinsuke's a joke because first of all, they don't have no respect for the Intercontinental Championship, and if they was going to build him up to be in the world title picture, he should have been dropped that belt months ago.
Yeah, what I'm saying, even they can still use the people that they got, other than the people that they fired. They just want, they don't want to.
But it's just like, but if you look on SmackDown, who's there? There's Nakamura, Intercontinental Champion, ain't gonna work. Cesaro had his chance. You know how they feel about Cesaro. Sheamus, you don't want to see Sheamus. We've seen Sheamus and Roman already.
I felt like he was supposed to be Jeff.
It was supposed to be Jeff, and then what happened with Jeff was supposed to be that Royal Rumble guy that had his matchup with Roman Reigns. That was supposed to be his last big run. I believe they probably would have had him do like a ladder match with Roman, just to go out there so Jeff can beat Jeff. But then Jeff got fucked up, or whatever the case may be, and then there you have it. There's no Jeff Hardy anymore. So what they had to do, they had to go to Raw because they lost another superstar that they probably had plans with. It sucks. So that was SmackDown this week, guys. I'm sorry, SmackDown gets a thumbs down from me. It was not a good show. I'm pretty sure you can agree.
Yep.
But it's the first one. It's the first one in 2022 in the books. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you guys also check out my channel, Prime Channel, as well. We do wrestling content here, podcast, stuff like that. Check out episode 200 where we had a great time. Episode 201 will be this weekend. We'll be talking about worst of 2021, and of course the new news that's coming out. Our Impact Hard to Kill review, Battle of the Belts review, and all that great jazz stuff like that. So stay tuned for all that great conversation. And there you have it. So once again, this is NC, the place we chose from Mr. D, and not Deion Sanders for Prime Time.
All right.
All right, and the Nerd Coalition is out.